Not only do I believe that kids should be creative, but I'm also frugal and I love to see them do things with their hands. So I've got a terrific project for you today. We're going to make wrapping paper out of a good old rubber stamp. I'm going to teach you how to carve it, cut it, mount it, and teach the kids how to do a repeat pattern to save money on wrapping paper and for them to see that they can create something that is absolutely lovely and useful and a whole lot of fun. My name is Jenna, welcome to my studio, and today is the perfect day to make some wrapping paper. What you'll need for this project is a rubber stamp that has not been cut yet, the tools to cut it, a rolling pad for your pigmented inks as well, or just a stamping pad if you happen to have one, and some good old brown craft paper or white or any other color, and just a little bit of time. I used to make wrapping paper with my son every season, and we would choose a different theme for each year. We would even make Halloween paper for gifts and things like that. So let me show you how to do this really great project. First of all, you take a piece of this rubber stamping pad. It's very inexpensive, and you can buy it at any arts and crafts store. What I'm going to do is cut it down to a 4" by 4" square, because what I purchased as well was a mounting block. I think it makes it better for stamping instead of using something that's too flexible. It gives the kids something to really hold on to. So I'm going to cut this into about a 4" by 4" block. Save this for another project for later. And as you can see, it cuts like butter. So you just cut right through it with an X-Acto knife and it falls apart. So let's set this aside because we're going to mount it to that later. And then you buy one of these cool little tools, and contained in it are a whole bunch of different cutting blades that you can use. Now what I'm going to let you do is go to my website and download some of my designs that you can use to make an ink stamping pad. But right now, I'm just going to doodle one on with pen, and then I'll make sure it's on the website for later. This is an old one that I've done, and it's got a lovely swirly pattern to it, and it looks great for almost any holiday. Here's also a leaf that I've done. It's years old, and I use it over and over again, even on the back of an envelope or for a gift that I'm giving somebody. Halloween ones are also really fun to make. You can make little ghosts and stick them all over lanterns. And also, one thought to remember, say you want to do the word boo, you have to remember that it's a mirror image when it goes down on the paper. So you actually have to make an oob to make a boo. So there you go. All right, so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to create a design that goes kind of with this swirly one, and they're going to be the same size, and I'm not going to tile pattern them when I put them on, but I want something to be similar to it. So along with the super swirly, I'm going to probably do a diamond shape to contrast that very decorative pattern. And the cool thing is you just take this awesome little tool and you cut your design. Kids love doing this. They love to save the little pieces and play with them. You don't need to go very, very deep. You just have to remember that what you're cutting away is the part that's not going to print. I'm going to change the blade now into something that's a little rounder so I can scoop away all the parts that I don't want. I'm just going to create this sort of diamond pattern. It's going to be very simple, and it'll make a really great looking little repeat. I did this project with my son at his school when he was about 8 years old. The kids to this day, if I see them in the grocery store walking around, they're like, I remember you're the lady that made stamps with us. It was really fun. And they all took them home. And they used them again. It's really a good thing for kids to do, to learn that not everything is something that you should buy at the store, but to use things that you have around the house. You can print on old magazines, repeat patterns, because it's kind of shiny. Kids love that stuff. I'm making little circles here with a wide blade. I'm just going to scoop all this away. Now sometimes I'll grab an X-Acto blade to really trim off what I don't want, which is what I'll do here. It may look like this stuff is hard to cut, but it is softer than warm butter. Just easy, easy. If you don't have any of this rubber to cut, get a bar of soap. Give the kids a bar of soap and even just a knife, a kitchen knife, and let them carve away on the soap and then have them dip it in paint and make wrapping paper. You won't be able to save it like you will this one, but the kids love it. You can also take a potato, cut it in half, and carve at that. And that one you definitely can't save. But again, just for the kids to have something to do, come up with something fun. And then make sure that you use really vibrant colors or holiday colors when using your paints. Show me what you've come up with on Pinterest or Facebook. I love to see when people are creative and coming up with new designs and things. All right, so if we were to take this and mix it with something very, very curly and ornate, we might have kind of a fun pattern there. So what I'm going to do is embellish this design just a little bit more, and then we'll be ready to mount it onto a piece of wood, and then it's ready to make wrapping paper with. So I think this is about ready. What I want to do now is take a good thick glue or my glue gun and attach it to this little 4x4 piece of wood that I have. Even if you have an old coaster or a piece of wood from the garden or anything that's left over, just mount it on that. Then you'll be ready to get some paints or ink stamps, pull out whatever you've got. This doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be fun. So what we've done in this project so far is to take a piece of stamping rubber that you can cut. We've carved it with just a single tool for just that reason. And now what we're going to do is affix this rubber stamp to a piece of wood cut the same size. Now what we can start to do, since that's already held tight, is see how we might want to put these together next to each other. These are just two stamps that I've made. You can get the download for the design or similar designs on my website, and all you're going to do is just tape it to the top of it and then kind of mark where my lines were and where I drew, or you can cut it out with an X-Acto knife and then just make your pattern from there. I want you to be creative though, change it, embellish it, and then show me what you've done. Anyway, so I'm thinking if we've got something that's very decorative and ornate here against something that has a lot of lines and some straight movement to it, that they'll play off of each other. So the idea is, now that you've got two stamps, you can just take some block printing ink. And what I've done is I've put a piece of plastic on top of a dinner plate so that you can see how to create your own palette for super easy cleanup and that you're not leaving any ink on your dinner dishes. Some people have a palette at home, but I'm just showing you sort of the homemade one, the homemade version. So all you do is take a dinner plate, put some water on it, and then just press the plastic wrap on top of it. The water makes it stick better, and then you'll be able to have a palette for super easy cleanup, and then you're not putting any ink on your dinner dishes. So this is an oil-based block printing ink, very easy to use. You take this very cool little roller. They also have water-based printing inks, but I'm going to show you how this is going to look. Just roll it gently over your ink stamp. Turn it over, press firmly, and pull it up. So let's try this new stamp that I just made today. Just going to roll it gently over your stamp. Kids love this. I've done this with my son 1,000 times. Press it down gently and pull it up. Might need a little bit more ink. Let's try a different color for contrast. Oh, that orange is terrific. Mix it with a little bright yellow. Wow. That's going to look great. You can even mix the inks right next to your pieces. And you press it down, you lift it up, and you've got a really cool design that you can use over and over again. Now that we've tested these out to see how they look, the idea is to get a piece of brown craft paper, roll it out, get 6 feet because you're going to use it on the big gifts and the small gifts, and don't leave too much space between your stamps, because let's say you've got a small gift, right? If you put too much space between, it's always going to turn out, just as Murphy's Law would have it, that the gift will end up in the brown space. So put your stamps relatively close to each other and don't make them perfect. You don't have to do a tile pattern. Just press it down and see what comes up. Even light ink is going to leave an interesting impression. All right, so get out your inks and your pens and off we go. From a simple piece of carvable rubber to mounting it on a wooden block to mixing up just 3 colors, orange, yellow, and white, we have created not just wrapping paper, but a piece of art. Because what you don't know is that I've got a whole crew here and they're vying for who gets to take this home. So before they duke it out, I think what I'd love to do is show you how beautiful this absolutely patchwork, mixed up, imperfect piece of wrapping paper has turned out to be. My name is Jenna. Thanks for stopping by. Cool, huh?
What's your green wish? Find out more at greenwish.com.